If you were alive during the 2000s, you probably remember the old internet aesthetics that we had back then. The videos, the commercials, the colors, the Windows wallpapers, everything looked different and unique. And now that we are living in a completely new version of internet, it usually feels like we are not living the future that we used to dream about in the past. So in this video, I want to talk and search with you guys some old internet styles and concepts and try to understand how did we manage, how did we get to be in this version of internet, and what about the future, the unique future that we used to dream about? What happened to it? What happened to the old internet style that we loved so much? And we still love it. So let's dive into it. I remember when I was a kid, I was playing those Windows games of making cakes and some candies, and it was awesome. When I think about it, I usually remember about the old internet concept that we had back then. Frodiger era was present in basically everything we saw it. Those classy, water, vibrant colors, it was awesome. And when I was a child, I think most of you guys, maybe you think the same way, we were supposed to think and to imagine a future like that life would be colorful that way forever. And if we stop and analyze how things are today, we see much more gray, black, white, and those concepts, those colorful concepts, they kind of doesn't feel like, we don't feel like we're living that anymore. Watching videos, commercials, and even just seeing some old images of internet make us feel like, or at least I feel like that during the time when we were growing up, we saw internet changing for better most of the time. We saw new things, new apps, new social media arriving, and all those things were great, but I still feel like we lost something in the internet, like that joy of using a computer or a phone for the first time, and those different experiences that today, they feel so natural. It feels so natural to use a smartphone, to use your computer, your laptop to work, that different feeling, it doesn't exist anymore. I still remember using the Microsoft Paint, the old Microsoft Paint, just to have fun. And kids nowadays, they don't use Microsoft Paint to have fun. My objective with this video is not to compare generations and say that a specific generation is better than other, but of course this is one of the factors that made things change, because if we look back then, the internet had a simpler style because things were all simpler and we got used to it the way it was. And nowadays, big companies and big tech stuff, they're all trying to do something to captivate people and at the same time sell their products. It has always been this way, but in my opinion, it kinda increased in the last years. If you know me and have watched my other videos, you probably know that I am a very nostalgic person. And because of that, it's a little hard for me, almost impossible, to look at things on the internet right now, nowadays, and do not compare it and become a little shocked because things changed so much. Images were different, the style were different, and even the style of restaurants, fast food, everything was colorful, everything had a unique style, and we seemed to create memories about that in a different way that we create memories today. And this is not only about the internet, but about the life concept and everything that surrounds us in a daily life. And when we think about how we saw the future in the 2000s, I remember about that video, the YouTube video of the consoles and how people saw tech in the future. The ball-shaped Xbox 720, the PS4, the white PS4. PS4 didn't exist yet when this video was released. This video is incredible, man. And of course, internet, technology, everything evolved in a way that was different of what we expected, and this is natural. There is nothing wrong with that. But of course, we also have the feeling that some memories and some concepts, we wanted them back. And in my opinion, this is probably the reason that most people still miss Frodiger Aero because it represents very well how the past looked like and how the future would look like in the past. And Frodiger Aero is beautiful, and not only Frodiger Aero but other internet concepts of that time and aesthetics that still exist in this day. And it's a little niche in the internet that people talk about aesthetics and how things look, and I really like this concept. It is incredible, and this was part of us and is still part of us. And there is a very known and curious term that we can use here to try to understand a little bit better this concept at all, which is anemoia. Anemoia is a word for nostalgia, for a time or a place you have never known. It is a longing for a past era, historical moment, or imagined setting that happened long before you were born or that you never lived through. When I see anemoia, it's clearly not exactly what we are looking here, but there are some parts of this term that make sense, because when we look at the past, we remember how we saw things, how we saw internet styles and aesthetics and this kind of thing, but there's a part of that that is not actually true, because some parts of nostalgia are not totally related to things that we lived. Because if we stop to look at the old internet, the styles and everything, many things were just the memories that we created, that we used to create. We were kids or we were younger and we saw the world in a different way, and internet was part of that world. And exactly as we dream today, things were different, and that is completely natural, because now we will dream things that we won't live in a few years, but because now we are more mature or whatever, we kind of accept it in a more easy way. But when you are a kid and you're going through old internet websites and playing some website and flash games, exploring new websites, watching teenagers or even adults living a different life of you, when you create this kind of memory, they will naturally become stronger in your mind today. And this is exactly what happened to us. We were living a moment, and now when we remember about those moments, about those unique and different things that we had, it feels like today internet is a little boring. What I can say is that there's nothing more precious than having your own memories that you created by yourself when you were younger, in the internet or not. It makes me very happy when I see people online talking about their past, how internet was, and trying to recreate these feelings, bringing old websites, old games, old things back again. And this feeling of bringing the past and living the memories that you have, it's something that it is only possible because we all lived this together. And maybe if we were to meet with our younger selves and say to them that nowadays in the future, in our present, we don't have those aesthetics anymore, those futuristic concepts and this kind of thing, but we have the memories that we created when we were dreaming about it in the past. And maybe this is the real future, living our lives with good memories from the past and knowing internet was a big part of that. Thank you for watching the video till here. Comment your experiences, your memories, and even your internet stories in the comments. I want to read them and read your suggestions also. Thank you guys so much, and see you in the next video.